an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. When you let your nuts hang.
There are actually people out there who think a private school is better than a public school. Well, I got news for you. It's probably worse. So I went to a private Christian school. I went to a public school first. My 10th and 11th grade year, I went to a private school. And I'm just going to tell y'all one story. And mind you, there's thousands. But y'all think the kids are so different. Y'all think the people are so different, that their parents raise them so different. Before football games in the locker room at a private Christian school, these kids who are their parents are rich and they go to church every Sunday and they go to youth group and all these different things. These are 15, 16-year-old kids in the locker room watching homosexual porn together. Yes. Like I was so confused. I walk into the locker room and I'm like, what? Like, mind you, just like a group of 10 of them just in the corner of the locker room, all staring at one person's phone. And I'm like, bro, what y'all watching? They can't be that crazy. And then they say, we watch this to get ready for football games. And I'm just like, wait, what? They're like, you want to watch it with us? You want to watch it with us? And I'm like, absolutely not. Y'all are strange individuals. And so I leave out. The group got bigger and bigger. Mind you, there are some middle schoolers who are like playing up. And so they would come in the locker room like 8th graders. So 8th graders would come in the locker room and they would get them to watch it too. And I had to ask the question, like, do you guys like guys? And they'd be like, no. Like, we're not, gay. We just, you know what I'm saying? This is just how we get, it just builds the testosterone in it. And I'm like, wait, mind you, it got to be like 15 people, like at some point of them just in a locker room watching it, multiple phones sometimes. And I'm just like, bro, like, and that's one thing. Mind you, this is a private Christian school that this is happening at. There are actually people out there who think a private school is better than a public school. Well, I got no.
No. That he not lying about that. But I wouldn't know about a private school. But in regular school, when I went to Maroney, it's a junior high. It was 9th grade, and they used to do the weirdest stuff. Mind you, one of these dudes was so weird. He had on his boxers backwards, and he was like, "All right, man, all right." But yeah, all the gay humping stuff and tapping people on the penis and stuff like that. It was, uh, and I'm pretty sure they went to high school doing that same stuff. It didn't start just there. They've been doing that type of mad weird stuff. But I'm gonna just say that's not just a private school. That's if you go to a school with a lot of white boys. If you go to a school with a lot of white boys, they don't give a damn type stuff. Like I wouldn't at the point where I'm taking showers at school because I smell that bad, and they just walking around naked and stuff like this. I'm like, yo, we not there yet. You know what I mean? Even in prison, it wasn't even like that. It's just like, nah, dog, that ain't it.
One thing I learned from going to a private school is I will never send my kids to private school. I went to a public school for 1 year and then I transferred to a private school, and I will never do that to my kids. I don't know why I wanted to go to a private school so bad. Literally begged my parents to go to this private school, and it is filled with the most out of touch, insane, like I can't even describe. Anytime I talk about the school I went to or like other people talk to me about it, they're like, the devil actually lives there. All they care about is money. All they care about is like who's donating to the school. You get in trouble for the stupidest things. You're also treated like, I don't know how to describe it. Like when I was at private school, we could schedule if we wanted to take a test a certain day. Say we had a test on a Tuesday, but I was like, I don't want to take my test today. I could be like, hey, I'm just really stressed out. Like, can I take my test on Friday? And they'd be like, yeah, of course. Like, it's okay. Like, they treat you like a little baby. And also, just like the whole like in trouble, you get in trouble over the stupidest things. Like, God forbid I have a logo on my sweatshirt, because no logos allowed. Also, like, having to wear a skirt, like, don't even get me started with the uniform. Some of the guy teachers would like write me up for how short my skirt was. I did not wear my skirt short. And also, why are you looking? whatever, like, I'm tall, so, like, the skirt was already a little shorter on me than it would be to the regular person. But whatever, that's not even the big deal. When I went to public school, some of the interactions, I needed that in my life to grow. I needed to witness someone getting in a fight in the bathroom for me to grow, and that's just what it is. Like, or like the whole trend where like people would steal sinks or soap dispensers, or like what that trend that went around. Like, if that happened at private school, I can't imagine what the teachers would have done. But like public school, like there's just some experiences you need to have that you can only have at a public school. And I don't know if anyone else like relates to this or thinks like this, but I think public school is so like important. Which, this is so stupid that I'm talking about this, but like I think if I would have stayed at public school, I would have been such a different person. And I feel like going to a private school just made me super like spoiled, and being around all those people that are already spoiled and rich and whatever, they get whatever they want, it kind of turns you into that. And I don't like that. That is my rant on private versus public school, because I'm never sending my kid to a private school.
No, I can agree with the public school versus, because we went to a school called Millwood. It wasn't a private school, but it was its own school district from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. And they had to dress in uniforms. Most of them were middle class black people. So it was kind of like, it wasn't a private school, but it was like really structured. But it was a bunch of people, a bunch of kids that kind of wanted to be hood, but they weren't hood. They were just bad. And, you know, they got all the new Jordans and all, like, just everybody had everything. It wasn't, and even to this day, I see some of them and I'll be like, y'all not from the hood. Y'all never really struggled, but you struggled as an adult. It's because you wanted to be hood instead of like embracing Millwood. But I see a lot of women that went to Millwood, mostly women, a few guys that are square, and that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be ghetto. You don't have to be the hardest dude in the school or whatever. But anyway, it is what it is. But when I went to Oklahoma City schools, which shit, you know, because we went to Middale schools, which was really nice. Like, I had straight A's all the way through 6th grade. We was bad, but we had dirt bikes, horses, go-karts. You know, all the neighborhood kids get together and play football in somebody's yard, because everybody's yard was a damn mile long, and the bus couldn't stop. The houses were so long, driveways were so long that everybody pretty much had their own bus stop. Like, we didn't have, if we walked down the street to the bus stop, that's because we wanted to. It wasn't because, you know, everybody's bus stop, everybody's had the long ass driveway, but for most people, except like some people on certain streets where they had shorter drive. But your house was, even if you had a short driveway, you had a big ass yard. And the next house over is a block down the street. There wasn't many houses that were close by. So the houses that were close by, it was like they still had long ass driveways, and probably two people would have one bus stop by their house. Like, it was that big. So we was kind of sheltered in a sense. But then when we go to school with the people from Midwest City, then you start to see the ghetto. Because Midwest City is the ghetto, and Forest Park was not the ghetto. It was freaking nice. Anybody live in Forest, if you talk about Forest Park right now in the city, you some uppity Negroes. Yeah, you know. And then Oklahoma City schools, yeah, you just witnessed everything. Fights, the gang banging. I didn't know too much about gang banging, but I had cousins that was gangs, but I didn't live like them. So then when I started to witness it and I started to understand, you know, it molded a whole different side of me that was like waiting to come out. Just I was already terrorizing everybody at school. So that just amplified it being in the ghetto and like pregnant, seeing girls pregnant in the 7th and 8th grade and all that stuff. Man, nobody gonna get kicked out for that. It's just something you gotta experience. Like the I don't know, private school. I ain't never been to one, but I can tell you right now, it don't sound too amusing.